let's talk about what's happening on the equity side. We've seen slight gains in recent sessions, but not today. What happened today?
Markets ended up negative again today, despite its positive showing yesterday. Yesterday, Oando, of course, released their results, huge profits, and then we saw that they declared a dividend of about 3 Naira per share. We had thought that that would kick off more of activities, and then the index would go on a positive trend. But what we've experienced, seen today was that the NSE issued a list of companies that are falling short of the basic standards of issuing your financial statements as required. This in itself has sent a bit of shake in confidence into the Nigerian stock exchange and trades. But basically, on the long term, I expect that to be a pass of integrity, that it will increase confidence in speculators and then investors coming to buy and then trade in the Nigerian stock exchange. It does well for the integrity of the Nigerian stock exchange, basically.
Very briefly, Bankole, has anything been said about why some of these 48 companies have delayed in releasing their financial results? Because the SEC has been very specific about the need to get Nigeria to subscribe to international reporting standards and just to improve governance. I mean, this has been going on for the last year already.
Yes, I think it's been dragging for a while. I do not have broken down detail of the reasons, but basically they have indeed fallen short of this standard, and I'm sure there had been warnings, because this is half year, and then as at the end of first quarter, there were delays as to issuance of financial statement by the various organizations, but it had to do with some regulations of provisions of about 1% of a certain profitability level. It's a threat to going concern when companies can't bring out their financial statements and declare to investors what they have done all through the year. So, I mean, we have to render stewardship to investors and then other stakeholders. So basically, it's a pass. I'm reiterating that it's a good one from the Nigerian Stock Exchange, that they can come out with this kind of affirmative stand.
Okay, good news is the Naira, just over 151 Naira to the dollar. It's getting stronger and stronger. I think the figure is something like it's at its 14th quarter high.
Yes, excellent decision taken by the central bank, even though there's been grumbling outside the financial institutions. We know that the Bureau de Change right now feel as if the supply of dollar funds has been tightened. But overall for the economy, it has helped lessen pressure on the Naira. We've seen the Naira drop from last week from about 155.80 levels to about 151 today. Actually, during trading today, it touched 150 levels and 149.95, because just as companies and banks and other persons who held positions on dollars continue to sell down and then even go short on this position. That means the expectations are that dollar to Naira would fall lower than what it is right now, basically. What this has done is that it's created Naira liquidity and reduced the pressure, allowing investors and other speculators to take position on other forms of investment apart from foreign exchange.
Is this situation sustainable, a strong Naira, Bankole? Because we're also getting reports that foreign exchange reserves have been depleted somewhat, just around $31 billion. The oil price is high, but Nigeria can't capitalize on that. Will that not impact the Naira going forward?
Okay, the depletion had been going on for a while. Initially, when the depletion, the Federal Reserve got to 32 billion, it was announced, it was big news that that was a 12-year low, but we've seen it at the 31 billion levels now. But about 2 weeks ago, it did kick up. It did pick up back to about 34 billion. Just about that 2 weeks ago, we had crude oil price on the international market at 114 levels. That in itself has dropped to about 112 levels, and this drop in itself has affected it because they have a positive relationship, earnings from crude oil and then growth in Federal Reserve. But this is not to say that the defense of the Naira itself didn't contribute to depletion of the dollar reserve level. But now that there's less pressure on the Naira, we expect the Federal Reserve to grow back. It may not be a drastic movement or increase upward, but you will see trickle back up to about $35 billion level.
And very quickly, results from T-bill auctions this week, and just a perspective on liquidity within the interbank markets?
Okay, liquidity right now is very much. We've seen some cash calls come in. Liquidity in the interbank money market levels is over 300 billion. So we saw a bullish run at the auction compared to what happened a few weeks ago, where it was undersubscribed for. There's so much money now, and then the yields are very attractive. So we've seen banks in particular who had sold down on their dollars before it got to these levels go invest in T-bills. And then if you see on 91 and then 365 days Treasury bills, the drop in yield was up to 70 basis points. This is drastic compared to other results that we've seen. And these T-bills were actually oversubscribed to the tune of over 100 billion.